Hello and welcome back to part 2 of the first person character tutorial series, where we'll be creating a first person character creator. In the last video, if you haven't seen that, go check that out. We set up some custom arms and we attached a gun to it, and we created a line trace. So in this video we're just going to expand on that, create a give it some bullets, give it a reload, all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to go into my player, have a look at my fire bullet function. Okay, so this is fine for now. We're obviously we want to come out of this when we hit something, when it's another actor, and we want to do some stuff. But before that, let's go and set up reload. Right, so we're going to create a variable called reload, and then we're going to create another variable called current ammo, and we want to make that a integer. And then we want to create another variable called max ammo. We want to create another variable called reload amount. Reload amount. So that's going to be the amount that we put back into the gun when we do reload. Now, the last video we set up a key binding for reload, but if you don't know how to do that, you just go into the project settings, which are here. So settings, then project settings, and then wait. There it is. Go to inputs, and then you can add an action mapping here, and then give it a name, and then select what you want the key binding to be. So we've already done that. So we can just right click and then type reload for the action event. So the first thing we do when we reload is we want to set reload to be true. Obviously that's the first thing we want to do, and then we want to go and set up a animation for that. Yeah, let's do that. So go to content, player, animations, and then go to the player animation blueprint, and we want to start off in the anim graph. So you want to be in this locomotion state. If you've been following along, you should have this, and we want to drag off this idle walk and add a state and call it reload, and then double click to open that up, and then come over to your asset browser and again type reload, and we want arms rifle reload, and then hit compile, and that should be it. And we've got this as well empty, so we'll have to have a look later, because there is an animation attached to the weapons as well, so we should be able to line this up, but we'll probably do that when we add some polish to it. We just want to get the basics working today, or in this video. So if we hit compile, it's going to give us an error, because if we go back to the locomotion, we've set up a transitional rule here, but we haven't told it what to do. So we want to, once we've reloaded, go back to this idle walk run. So there's that. Now while we're here as well, we might as well set up a shooting animation, because we haven't set that up at all yet either. So we'll come off the idle walk run here, and or do we want to do that as part of the... we'll see about that one. We'll do the reload first. So now we've got this all set up here, we need to go over to the event graph, and we need to grab the variables we created in the player BP. So I'm just going to make sure I compiled these, because if I don't compile, I won't be able to get access to them. I'm going to close this first person HUD and the blend space, so we're just working with these two tabs open. Okay, so now I've compiled it. If I drag out and type get reload, drag to the bottom, they're always at the bottom. No. Get reload, there it is, get reload, and then promote that to a variable, plug that in, and then give it a name that isn't, I'm just going to call it reload. I'm just going to spell it wrong. And that way we've promoted that, and we know that that is that variable. So now we can get access to that in the locomotion graph where we want to set up our transitional rules. So we'll open up going from idle to reload, and what is going to trigger that transition is if reload or reload is equal to be true, so that's an equal boolean, and then just plug that in and then hit compile. And then we've still got an error because we haven't done the other one. So reverse of that is drag in reload again, drag out, equal. This time if it's equal to false, then we want to transition back. So right now we've only set the reload variable to be true. So what we need to do is find out the length of that reload animation. So just go to content, it's in my first person assault pack, go to the animations, rifle, and then I'm going to type in reload, and here it is. And the animation length is down here, so it's 2.66 seconds. So I'm going to set mine to be 2.5, my delay. So I'm going to drag out, type delay. I find that if you just have if you set the delays to be a little less than the animation, that works a little better. So there's the delay for that, and then we just set that to be false. Plug that in, and now this should just play the animation. Obviously we haven't set any values for our ammo yet, so nothing will actually no numbers will change or anything like that, but we should, if we press R, get a reload animation to play, and when it's done it doesn't play again, and I can't just keep pressing the button and it keeps playing. Yep, so that's good. So now what we need to do is go and set up the numbers. Now the animation will play. So first of all, let's go to current ammo and set its value to be 15. You can do whatever you like, but I'm just going for 15. Max ammo. So that max ammo is the maximum you can carry, not in your clip, but in your sort of, you know, the pool of ammo that you've got to call from. So we're going to set that to 99. And the reload amount, let's leave that at 0, because what we're going to do, every time we fire a bullet, we're going to add 1 to the reload amount. Reload. And what that's going to do, it's going to keep a counter for how many bullets we need to put back in the gun when we do hit reload. Right. So the first thing I'm going to do now we've got those numbers set up is go to the fire bullet, okay, because it's in here that we need to check. So when we hit fire bullet, the first thing we need to do is have a branch and check to see if max ammo. Oh wait, look a second. So we're not, yeah, no, current ammo. So drag in current ammo and get, because we want to see if we've got a bullet in our clip, right? And that's where our current ammo is stored, in the clip, in the imaginary clip. So we've got current ammo, and we want to know if it is equal to or more than 0. If it's more than or equal to, no, just more than 0, I think. Oh, we'll just put 1. So if it's equal or more than 1, and that's true, then they can do all this. If that's false, then they can't. We don't want to shoot that. So just to test that, let's go to current ammo and set that to be 0, and hit compile, and then we should no longer see the line trace, which we don't. Okay, so that's going to work. So if we have no bullets, we're not going to be able to fire, which is good. But if we do have bullets, then go ahead and do this. But also what we want to do is we want to then drag in current ammo and set it, plug that in. We'll probably do a bit more stuff here, so I'm not just going to plug that in just yet. And we want to set the current ammo to be minus, integer minus an integer. So current ammo wants to be minus by 1. In fact, we should be able to plug that in, because I'm not sure if we're going to do anything else in between there. And what I like to do with this, because we have infinite space, is I like to spread all this out so I can see each individual thing. and also it gives me room to put more things in later if I need to, more checks or whatever, which we probably will do. So what this is doing, it's checking to see if we have any ammo currently, and then it's minusing 1 from the ammo if we do have any ammo, and then it's doing this line trace, and for now that should be fine. Okay, no, actually, also what we want to do is we want to drag in the reload amount and set that as well. And this one wants to be plus, so you just drag out, and it's integer plus integer, and it's reload amount plus 1. Okay. So what we need to do now is we need to create a HUD so we can see some of this stuff. Now we haven't finished any of this, but we want to see it start coming together so that if there is any problems we can check them as we're working. So what we're going to do is we're going to minimize this and go into the content folder and then to the player folder. To the player folder and the player blueprints and open up the player BP. Well, we were already in there, that was silly. And then what we want to do is we want to create a HUD. So I'm going to right click and I'm going to type event. No, sorry, we haven't. Yeah, we can do this now. Event begin play. And then we want to drag out and create a widget. And then we want to drag out of there and add to viewport. Now we haven't actually created the widget yet. So we'll go and do that and then we can set that here. So yeah, this is what I was trying to do before. So open up a new folder, call it HUD. Open that up, right click, go down to the bottom, user interface, widget blueprint, and I'm going to call this player underscore HUD. And I'm going to double click to open that up. Okay, I'm just going to go through this relatively quickly. This is the standard way I set up the ammo stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag in a horizontal box. So I'm going to type horizontal box and I'm going to drag that in. Now it will then put anything I add into that horizontal box, it will align it horizontally. Okay, so just put that in there for now. Now make sure you've got your horizontal box select here, and then go back up here and just type text, and I believe we want 4 text boxes, so drag in a text box there, drag in another one, then another one, and then one more. Okay, and then they won't fit in there just yet, but they will do, and they're all aligned horizontally, which is good. So for this first one, I'm just going to click on it, and you can rename it here, but I'm not going to. And then in the text, this is what text it will display, and I'm just going to put ammo. And I'm going to make the text a little larger. So to do that, you just go to font, and then you can set a size here. So I'm going to set that to 48. Maybe that's a little large. But I'm also going to align it so we can pick the alignment here. So I want to align it in the middle, like that. So by clicking this button here and that one, and also, so that should be fine. So for the second block, oh, in fact for the ammo, right at the end there, I think that's called a colon. I'll add a colon. Okay, so for this next block, this is going to be the actual current ammo. Okay, so just to represent that, I'm going to put in 2 hashtags. Nope. And I'm going to make the text 48 again, and I'm going to align it in the center like I did with the other one. Okay, and then for this third one, all this is going to be is a /, but I am going to set that to be in the middle as well and set it to 48. You can play around with this. And then for this second number, this is going to be max ammo. So again, I'm just going to do 2 hashtags because that's how many digits it's got. It's 99. I'm going to leave this one at 24 because I want this to be slightly smaller. And then I'm going to align it in the middle again. Okay, so that's how our ammo is going to read. Okay. Now what we need to do is we need to bind these to the text little widget. So on the first hashtag, the large one, come over here to where it says bind, right next to where you put in the hashtag, and then click create binding. Alright, and then what we need to do is we need to drag out from this first node and type cast to player BP, and then as the object we want to get player character, and then as player BP we want to get current ammo. Plug that and then plug that into there, and then hit compile. And then we've got to do the other one, so we'll go back. We can either go we can click here to the designer to go back, and then click on the last text box, which is the smaller hashtag, and then create another binding, and then we just want to do the exact same thing, so cast to player BP, and then as the object we want to get player character, and then as the object we want to get the player character, and then as player BP this time it's get max ammo, and plug that into there. Alright, and then hit compile. Now we've already set this to be drawing on the screen, so as soon as we hit play we should see this. Oh, we've got an error, so just don't play when there's an error, and then okay, because we haven't set it here, so all you need to do is come over to this construction node where we're making the widget and select the player HUD, compile. That's going to fix that. But it isn't drawing on our screen, and I think the reason for that, if I open up the player HUD, is because we haven't set, so this player HUD here, horizontal box, so click on the horizontal box and come over to anchors, and then just anchor it to the bottom left corner, because right now I think it was anchored up here, so that was affecting its placement. I think that's it. Yeah, okay, so you can see we set the ammo to be 0, so let's go fix that again. For testing we set that up, so go back to the player BP, go to the event graph and go to current ammo and set that to be 15 again. Then hit compile. Right, and then hit play. So here we go. So every time I shoot a bullet, it minuses, and when we hit reload, nothing should happen because we haven't told it to add anything back in or anything like that. So we'll go and set that up now. We also need to minus it from the max ammo, so let's go do that. So let's find our player, open him up. So we have a reload here, so when we press reload we want to add the amount, so the reload amount to the current ammo, and also take that away from the max ammo. So let's go do that. So we'll do that before the delay. So we want to set current ammo, and we also want to set max ammo. So let's plug those in, and we want to set current ammo so we'll drag out of there and hit plus, and we want it to be an integer plus an integer. So we are adding to the current amount, so that goes in the top, and the amount we're adding by is the reload amount. Okay, so that's how we set the current ammo. And then the max ammo is a minus, so we minus integer minus integer, and this time we want to minus the reload amount from max ammo. Alright, so let's go and give that a try. So compile, hit play. So I shot 5 bullets there, so it should go down to 94. Oh, it gone down to minus 94. Why? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then hit reload. It's gone to 104. Okay, so something's not right there. Set something up wrong. Okay, we've just mixed these up. So we actually want to minus from max ammo by reload amount. I'm sure that's how I had it set up a minute ago, but let's try. Let's have a look. So I've shot. Okay, that's right now. So now it should minus by 15. Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4. No. Okay, there's still problems there. Alright. Let's figure that out. What's going on? Oh, I know what's going on. We're never resetting the reload amount. Okay. So let's go back into Fire Bullet. And what we want to do is when we hit reload, I guess, maybe we want to do it here. So when we hit reload, we want to check what is the reload amount, like how much do we have to reload by. No, I don't think that's right. Let's have a look. So go to the fire bullet function. So when we fire the bullet, where do we want to reset the current ammo? That's just what I'm thinking of. Okay. So I am not 100% sure at all where I'm supposed to do this, so let's have a look. So we minus... No, that's where we check in. And then we get the reload amount. So that is the reload amount, and then we set the reload amount. So I guess when we reload, it's when we reload we want to reset. So here, let's just try and put... So reload amount set to 0. Yeah. Reload amount set to 0. Compile. Let's see if that helps us. I think that's going to help us. 3, 4, 5. Hit reload. 1, 2, 3, 4. Reload. Yeah. Alright, so that was it. I just got confused. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Reload. Yeah, so that's working now. Now. Okay. Right, so that's working. Right, so let's have a look and go and comment this. Okay, so this is reload. Now what we might want to do here, actually, instead of... Right, yeah, we're going to do that. So disconnect that, the input action, and then right click and add custom event. And we're going to call this reload event. Right, and then just plug that into there. And then comment this by dragging a box over and hitting C and calling it reload event. Alright, and then what we want to do, just put that up there, is that when we hit this button, we want to type in reload event, which is here. And then we're doing it in the same way here, so we can recall this code. This is just a different way of doing it, so you can have custom events and functions. So that's the ammo system sorted. We'll comment that, call that the HUD, and these C can be the inputs. Because what we want to do as well is if we ever hit 0 ammo, so let's get an event tick. So event tick. In fact, what we might be able to do is here, instead of doing an event tick, because event ticks are expensive, right? They're always running. So instead of, you always want to think of ways to avoid doing them. So this might be a way. So because what I'm trying to do is check if I have 0 ammo and I press reload, or if I press fire, actually, it's not reload. If I press fire and I have 0 ammo, then reload. So I might be able to do it here. So fire bullet, and we'll let's just try it. So put a branch here and check to see if we're reloading. Don't check to see if we're reloading. That's not what I want. Check to see if current ammo. In fact, no. Okay, no, I'm going to go with that. Check to see, so get current ammo, drag out, and we want to see if it's equal or above 0. No, less than or equal to 0. Yeah, less than. Less than or equal to 0, and if that is true, then okay, so right, no, sorry about this. So I don't practice these videos beforehand, you can probably see. So we've just reversed it. So if it's false that it is above or equal to 0, if it's false, then we want the reload event. Okay. So if current ammo is more or equal than 0, and that is false, then reload. Let's try that. No, that didn't work. Okay. That didn't work at all. So let's just so we'll just copy that and the branch. In fact, we don't need to copy it, we can just move it, because we're going to put a tick there instead. I think I could get it working that way, but for brevity we'll do it like this. So event tick, check to see if the current ammo is less than or equal to 0. If that is true, then we want the reload event. And then hit compile. So now if we reach 0 in our ammo, I haven't connected the arrows back. I bet that's the problem. Yeah, look here. Compile. Yeah. Okay, but it also will keep on firing while we're doing that. So what we need to do is go back into the player, go back into the fire bullet, and here on right at the beginning of the fire bullet, hold B and click, and then you'll get a branch. And then we only want to do all that if reload is false. Right, so now if reload is true, we should not be able to fire a bullet, which we can't. Alright. So one last thing I want to try in this one before we end this video is I want to try adding the animation for the firing in the fire bullet. So we want the bullet to get fired as soon as, we can do it as soon as we've done all the checks. So what we need to do is drag in the FPS arms, drag out from them and type play animation and hit play. Hit play. Plug it into the arrow and then we don't want it to loop. Select the animation to play is the reload, so it's the arms rifle reload. Hit compile. No, it's not. What am I thinking? Oh, it's not reload, it's fire. So is it called fire? Yeah, first person. No, it's not called it in that. Right, so I'm just going to open up the content, the player, the animations. No, it's not in there. It's in the first person assault pack, animations, rifle, and let's have a look. What have we got? Holster, idle, shoot. Eyesight, shoot, I guess this one. Alright, so if you select this, So it's selected orange or yellow, whatever colour you think that is, and then just click on this little arrow, it'll change it to that so you don't have to go searching through. Hit compile. Now, what we're going to have to do as well, to get this all lined up, this is why we might have to change where this is located, is have a delay, because if we open up that animation, hit play, oh, it does happen pretty much straight away, so we might have to put a 0.1 second delay on it, just so it lines up perfectly, but maybe you can't really tell. Okay, yeah, we could do it that way, but the problem with doing it that way is that it just doesn't blend back into our blend space. So we're not going to do it that way. We're going to delete that, and we're going to go back into our player and in blueprint, and we're going to go to locomotion. We're going to drag off here, and we're going to add a state called fire, and then we're going to have an arrow returning as well. We need to have we got a variable already set up for this? No, so we have to go into the fire bullet and create a variable called fire bullet. No, can't call it that, I've already got one. So just fire, and this wants to be a boolean. So drag that in. Drag that in here. Set it to be true. Like I say, we're going to need a very, very short delay, so I'm going to come off here and do a delay. Oh, we can't do delays in here. We can't do a delay in a function. So we're not going to do it in here. We're going to do it in the actual event graph. So go over to the event graph, and where we have this fire bullet, we want to, whenever we fire a bullet, we want, oh, so, right, so I was right, so, sorry. So click upon this to open it up, and I'm just going to hit Control Z a couple of times just to get that back. Because we do want to set it to be true here, but we'll set it to be false here. So for some reason we can't have a delay in a function, so we can just put them here. So I'm going to set that to be 0.1. That'll also work as the delay for the animation, and then I can set this to be false here. So now when I hit compile and go back to player and in BP, and then we can get access to that in the event graph. So come to as player BP, drag out, get fire, drag out, promote that to a variable and call it shoot. Plug that in. Okay, now we've got that shoot variable here. We can go and plug that in to the locomotion graph and to these transitional rules. So let's open up idle walk to the fire animation, and that wants to be shoot get equal boolean, wants to be equal to be true. Plug that in there. Copy that, Control C, go back to locomotion. Now we're going from fire to idle and walk, which is the opposite, so Control V, paste that, and remember to untick that, and then hit compile. So now we're getting no errors. So now when we because we didn't put in the animation, I think. Oops. So yeah, we never actually set it to have an animation. So does do we remember what it was called? It was called, I think it was called inside shoot 1. So I'll go back to here and just type in shoot, this one, eyesight shoot 1, and then hit compile. And now when we play, still doesn't look great. I think it's because the delay is far too long. We want the delay to be for the actual length of the... Oh, I keep doing that. For the actual length of the animation. So let's... it's 0.6, I'm going to set it to 0.5. Then we've actually got a chance to play the animation. Okay, so that's working, but it's just not the right animation, I don't think. So I think what we're going to do, I'm going to leave it here for this video, and then I'm going to go through the animations and see which is best. And in the next one, we can go over setting up the gun a little bit more, actually finishing off the reload, have attached animations to the skeletal mesh of the gun, and probably get in someone for you to shoot, and you know, just finish this off. Okay, so I'll see you in the next one.